There's one more example. So we have an architect. He's designing a building that is 300 feet long and 200 feet wide. She builds a model with the similarity ratio of 1 to 400. Okay, so what that means is that 1 inch on the model would be 400 inches on the actual building, or 1 foot on the model is 400 inches on the actual building. So we have a ratio of 1 to 400. Again, the top number, that is the model, and the bottom is the actual building. So this time they gave us a ratio to start with. Okay, now let's see, what did they want? They want to know what's the width of the building going to be. So let's take a look. What's the width, of the model? What's the width of the building? Well, it's 30 feet long and 220 feet wide. Okay, so the actual building is 220 feet. Notice I put that on the bottom because in our ratio they gave us, the bottom was the actual building. On top, I don't know the width. That's what I'm trying to find, so that's my x. So set up your ratios. 1 to 400 should equal x to 220. You want to solve that, so we go ahead and cross multiply. 220 times 1, leave the equal sign in the middle, equals 400x. So we have 220 equals 400x. We want to finish solving that. We have 400 times x, so to solve we do the opposite, and we divide both sides by 400. And when we do that, we get 0.55, which seems like a strange answer, but it is a really small model. You always want to go back up and check, and here's what we get. It wanted the width of the model in inches. And what were we dealing with? We were dealing with feet. So this is 0.55 feet. We want the answer in inches. So how do you change feet to inches? We have 0.55 feet. How many inches would that be? Okay, remember there's 12 inches in a foot, so we take our answer times 12, and that will change us to inches. Okay, so our answer is 6.6 inches. That one's a little tricky, that's why I put that part in red, because right at the end you have to change it to inches because our answer was in feet. Alright, the town of Goodland, Kansas claims that it has one of the world's largest easels. It holds an enlargement of Van Gogh's painting that is 36 feet wide. The original painting is 62 centimeters wide and 8 centimeters tall. If the production is similar to the original, what is the height of the reproduction to the nearest feet? Foot. Okay, well let's take a look. What do we know so far? We know that the original painting was 36 by 84. We know that the enlargement we have is 36 feet. Now this one's going to be a little different. Notice we have just width here, we have width and height here. So instead we're going to make our ratio width compared to height rather than the smaller to the larger. Okay, so let's set up our ratio. The width of the original was 62,